I never call you. I need you to pick up on the first ring. Okay, I need to tell you what happened with my husband. Okay, I know you were a little bit distracted, but you weren't that distracted that you don't even remember what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So, I was telling you that I found out I got a call from a random ass school saying that my husband's, like, my kid didn't show up for school, and they were saying, like, they were trying to make sure that everything was okay. Obviously, I don't have kids. Found out my husband has a whole another family, whole other wife with a kid that's like 12. Exactly. I need to keep up. Who is that? Hi. Which one is that? Jordan. Is that Jordan? Hi, Jordan. Wait, which one is Jordan again? Is that the one with the... Hi, Jordan. Jordan. Anyway, I have to be quiet because my husband's literally in the shower. He's literally in the shower right now. I have to tell you what happened because it did not go down how I said it was going to go down. Okay, I said I had cooked him a dinner. It was going to be this, like, whole really, like, I cooked him a dinner, I had wine on the table, and I was going to just hit him with, like, oh, I found out that you got a whole other wife that is not even legally possible, and a whole 12-year-old kid, which, like I said, he's literally away once, like, he has a couple days out of the month he has to go away for work. Like, when do you ever see your kid? But anyway, I was gonna, like, make him dinner. I'd made him dinner, and I was gonna have the wine on the table, and I was just gonna eat and, like, be really cordial for a little bit, and then I was gonna come out and I was gonna tell him that I knew that he was a liar. It didn't go down like that, so let me tell you what happened. Hold on, wait. I'm, like, literally starving. Okay, first of all, I'm sure that you'll be happy to know that I did, in fact, not shoot him. Okay, I considered it for a moment. I went out there after I hung up with you. I went out there and I sat with him, and I said, I was looking at him, and I said to myself, I could just shoot you right now and, like, I can claim self-defense. I considered it. I really did. But I was like, girl, calm down. So I sat down, we were eating. And like I said, I was just gonna, like, confront him with the whole situation and see what happens. But then I was like, that's not fun. That's not fun. Like, he said they're gonna lie about it, which he's obviously a liar. We've already established that he's a liar, so he's obviously gonna lie about it. Or he's gonna tell the truth and beg for forgiveness, you know? But she's obviously gonna lie about it. I'm like, that's not fun. Like, I need to get more involved in this situation. You know, I need to, like, insert myself more in all of this. I need the whole truth because all he's gonna do is lie to me, and I'm not gonna get the truth right now if I tell him I know what's going on. So I need to milk this whole situation so that way I can get the truth, okay? Yeah, exactly. So I said, okay. I was sitting there and I was like, oh, how was your day? Like, just being this, like, oh, like, you know, like, perfect wife. I made you dinner, I got you your favorite wine, like, all this stuff. And he was like, oh my god, babe, like, I love you so much. And I'm like, am I mad? I'm like, yeah, clearly not enough because you got a whole nother wife. We're gonna go there. I remember him telling me, like, when we first started dating, he was like, I'm not really too big on kids. Mind you, his kid is 12. Okay, so by the time we had just started dating, he already had a kid. But when we started dating, he was like, oh, I'm not really too big on, like, kids. And I was like, yeah, like, me neither. Which, like, you know, I was like, I'm kind of indifferent to kids. I was like, yeah, if I have kids, that's great. If I don't have kids, like, whatever. So I was like, yeah, like, whatever. It's like, it's not a big deal, you know? So I was like, okay, you lying bastard. You know, you've been saying that, but you already have a kid. So I sat there and I was like, playing the, like, little perfect wife. And I was like, I said to him, honey, do you still, like, not want kids? I just want to see what it's gonna say. I was like, are you still, like, not really, like, sure about having What do you feel about that? This man looked at me and said, no, I'm really not a fan of kids. I really don't think I want to have kids. I started to say, well, does your other wife know that? Did you tell that to your other wife? Or is that just what you tell me? So you don't have to have 2 kids. But I kept it together, okay? I kept it together. And I said, oh man, like that's kind of sad. Like I was kind of thinking that maybe we could start having kids. This man got all serious and he was like, honey, I just don't think that in this market and in this, we're in a recession and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. You're so smart. Like just, you know, feeding his ego because I'm about to literally like just like blow up your world. And I was like, yeah, honey, you're so smart. Blah, blah, blah. So this man said to me, he was like, oh, just to remind you, honey, I've got to go for the business trip this weekend, like from like Thursday to Sunday. So I was like, this is an opportunity. Okay, this is an opportunity to see where he's actually going on these business trips. So I said to him, I was like, oh, okay, like where's your business trip at? I don't even remember where he said, but it was another state. It wasn't our state, it was another state. So I was like, oh, okay, like they're gonna get you your plane tickets and everything. Like I was like specifically fishing for his location. And he was like, yeah, like the plane tickets are already taken care of. The company covered it. Like you don't have to worry about that. It's not coming out of our bank account. I was like, okay, cool. And I told him, I was like, well, since you're gonna be away this weekend, then maybe I'll like have a girls trip with, yeah, I used you as an excuse, but I didn't think you would mind. You're usually up for the shenanigans. So I was like, maybe if you're gonna be away this week, then maybe I'll go on a trip too, like a girls trip with like my bestie. And he was all for it. He was like, yeah, honey, you should. Like that would be a good, you know, it would be a good sign for you. Like you never do anything. You're always home waiting for your husband. He didn't say all that clearly, but that's what I'm thinking. Like I never do anything. I never go to work because I'm always trying to be the good wife. That's, you know, I thought I heard him. I was like, I'm always trying to be the good wife that's home with her husband, this, that, and the third. So I said to him, I said, I'm gonna have a girls trip. You enjoy your business trip, honey. You know, all that good stuff. Now when he was in the shower after dinner, I shared his location with me. This man is zero tech savviness. Okay, he doesn't know anything about anything when it comes to electronics. So I was like kind of risking a lot here because I was like, if he finds it, I'm kind of screwed. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna believe that he's not gonna find it because he really doesn't know anything about electronics, like at all. So I found my iPhone and I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave it on for a few days before the trip. If he realizes that it's on, then obviously that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to figure something else out. But if he doesn't realize, then I could just use it. He didn't realize. So he left for his trip on Thursday at like 9 a.m. or something like that for the airport. I think he said his flight was at 9 a.m. So he left the house at like 7 a.m. or something like that, or like 6:30. He's committed, okay? He's committed. Because ain't no way you're just going to your other wife's house and you're committed to acting like you're going to the airport and getting up at 6:30 in the morning. He's committed to the line. And I was like, do you need me to drop you off to the airport? Like, trying to be the supportive wife. I was like, I just want to see what he's going to say. Like, I would have driven him an hour and a half to that airport if he said yes. He was like, no, the company's going to send a car. Like, go back to bed. Don't you worry. And I was like, okay, like, okay, you know, okay. So I pretend to go back to bed. I wait for him to leave. I hear the for this, whatever. This, to see his family. He got a whole separate car for this. So I almost was like, when I went out there, I was like, okay, where is he? Like, I don't see it. His car is there. His car's not moving. Like, what's going on? This man got a whole separate car. Okay. I followed him. Tell me why his family, like 2 hours from here. I said, oh, that's close. So all those times that you were flying over here and flying over there, and I've got a business trip. They're sending me to Vegas. Oh, they're sending me here. Oh, they're sending me there. You were going 2 hours. 2 hours from here. Oh, that's bold. That's bold of you. Yeah. So I follow him, and this man goes straight to his wife's house, his family's house with his kid, and he stops and he gets flowers, and he's being real romantic. I'm like, oh, I love that for you. Y'all are so cute. Y'all are so cute. Yeah. So at this point, I'm doing everything I can not to get out of the car. I'm right in there. And at this point, I'm like, alright, at this point, I think I might have to shoot him. At this point, I think it's one thing to know that your man is like cheating and has like a whole family on the side. But when you actually see it, yeah. I was like, I think I might have to shoot him. Yeah. But I was like, you know what? I need more information first. So, remember I said last time I DM'd her because I was like trying to see if we were talking about the same man. And I said that I got a notification that she went on my page, right? I have pictures of him on my page. So I was like, okay, she obviously seen it. So she obviously knows something is up. Like she knows something is up. She never DM'd me. But clearly she knows that something is up. I think he's on the phone with her. He's calling somebody baby, and clearly that's not me. Girl, anyway. So I DM'd her again, and I was like, oh, I think we live in the same area. Like, do you want to be friends? Basically, it's like, that's not how I said it, but I like basically worded like that. Like, oh, I live in this area too. I'm looking for people that I can like be close, people that I can be friends with in the area. I think we live in the same area. We look about the same age. Like, we should like hang out for coffee. Like, that would be so, fun. Like, just trying to see, because like I said, I'm pretty sure she went on my page and saw him. Either she knows and that's why she didn't say anything, or she doesn't know and she's trying to put the pieces together like me. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give her a helping hand. I'm gonna reach out. So I was like, hey, we live in the same area. We look like we're the similar age. Like, I've seen you pop up on my, I don't know, like recommended her feed or whatever. And I was like, I think we should, I think we should hang out. Like, we should get coffee. Like, I'm looking for a friend. When I tell you, I've never gotten a DM back so fast in my life. I said, someone's eager for the truth. So I said, you know what? Okay. She DM'd me back and she was like, so quick, with a quickness that I have never experienced in my life. She instantly DM'd me back and she was like, absolutely, I would definitely be interested. She said, how about today? So I said to myself, well, aren't you busy? Like, your husband just came home from wherever he told you that he was at for the weeks that he's been gone, because he's been home with me. So shouldn't you be spending time with your husband? Like, I was expecting her to tell me, like, oh, next week or something. So she said to me, she was like, obviously I didn't say that to her because I'm not supposed to know that, not yet anyway. But I was thinking to myself, like, you're a little bit too eager. But anyway, so I was like, yeah, like today is fine. Like, do you want to, like, lunchtime? Like, what do you want to do? And she was like, oh, I was 3:30. I was like, 3:30 is perfect, girl. I got a hotel. I'm using his credit card. Like, 3:30 works for me. I'll be hanging out at the hotel until then. So she says, please, we go there. And I see her, and instantly I'm like, okay, she definitely knows because she's looking at me like I just took her man. Like, that was the look that she gave me. You only give that look when somebody takes your man. She knows. Like, to be honest, I thought she was gonna fight me or something. So I'm like, okay, you know, I'm gonna keep my composure. I'm gonna play my cards right. I'm not gonna say anything until she says something. So I sit down and I don't say anything. I just sit down because I'm like, you obviously know. Like, what are you doing? You obviously know. I know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to figure out what you're doing. So I sit down. So I sit down. And I didn't say anything. This woman looks at me and she says, how long? I tried to play dumb. I was like, what do you mean? I don't reckon. I'm not quite understanding the magnitude of that question. Can you use it in a sentence? Can you elaborate? I don't. She said, how long have you been screwing my husband? I couldn't even be mad, to be honest. I was like, you know what? In my mind, I was thinking, you know what? I like you. You've got spunk. I feel like we could work together. In my mind is what I was saying. So I was like, well, first of all, I couldn't be too nice though, because I'm like, girl, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? So I said, first of all, he's my husband too. So technically, you've been screwing my husband too. She said, husband. I said, yeah, husband. Babe, we're married. Like, legally. Like, I saw the license myself. Like, we're married. So she said, well, how long has you and Charles been married? And I said, oh, wait a second. Charles. I said, our husband's name is Michael. Did he lie to you about that? And she said, no, his middle name is Michael. Girl. She said, no, his middle name is Michael. His government name is Charles. So I was thinking hard. And I said, oh, on our certificate of our marriage license, it says Michael. As in, me and him are not actually married at all. I said, oh, okay. Technically, I was like, okay, because I was like, it could either be either way. He either told her that his middle name was Michael and his first name was Charles, but it's actually the other way, or he lied to me. Either way, he's lying. I don't know which one still to this day is his actual first name or which one is his actual middle name. Obviously, I can't ask him. What I am gonna do though, tomorrow when he goes to work, I'm gonna do something stupid on my own and I'm gonna go through some stuff and I'm gonna see what's tea. But I was like, you know what? We'll get into that later. But I was like, so what do you want to do? So I said to her, I was like, what do you want to do? he's lying. What else is there to do? And I said, well, do you know the truth about everything? And she was like, well, no. And I was like, exactly. So do you wanna like call him over, or do you wanna like go home together and we can like end this right now, or do you wanna let it play out and see what happens so we can get the truth? And she said, I want the truth. And I said, my name is Jaden, nice to meet you. I think we're gonna be good friends. Oh yeah. I think he wants you. He's cute. I think he wants you. I'll call you back later. You're clearly, wow. You're clearly busy. I'll call you back later. Oh no, there's more to the story, believe me.